Good morning, everyone. Good morning. All right, it's good to see you all on a rainy day. We're going to begin the meeting. Oh. That sounds like a delayed reaction. Oh. All right, we're going to...
We did it again.
On my way out. Two more meetings.
We're going to start with prayer. So good to see y'all this morning. Join me in prayer, please. Oh, Lord, our God, our maker, creators of the heaven and the earth, we thank you for this another day. We thank you for the rain, Lord God, that you've sent forth to replenish the earth. And we ask, just as you send the rain, we ask that your word would go forth, Lord God, to do what it has been intended to do, to heal the sick, Lord God, to bring peace where there's no peace, Lord God, to bring joy where there is pain and despair. We thank you now for the opportunity to come before you this morning. We ask that you would be with us as we conduct the business of county government. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
We'll go over who our visitors will be today. We'll start with Sheriff Derrick Cunningham, Grants Administrator Regina Walker, Commander Frederick Williams with the Peers Program, and Executive Director Cedric Fluker with Montgomery Step Foundation. The items that will be considered during the formal session start with the alcohol license application for Latino Festival for November 20th. Alcohol license application for off-premises retail beer and table wine for Dollar General Store on Peak Road in Raymer. Consider a resolution approving the 2023 Severe Weather Preparedness Tax Holiday, February 24th through 26th. Consider a resolution authorizing the county's Thanksgiving holiday observance on Friday, November 25th. Consider the 2023 County Commission meeting schedule. Consider the Employee Recognition and Appreciation Program and related budget. Consider transfer of ownership and liability for retired County Sheriff's Office K-9. Consider a telecommunications service contract with Blue Plains Technology. Consider miscellaneous appropriations to agency. Does anyone have anything to add?
Yes, Florence. I remember what it is.
Well, Isaiah's looking, we did have some, Teresa sent us a list today of some that's been pending, that we probably need to address those at some point.
Speaking of that, Mr. Chairman, Friends of the Theater, you know, they do the annual Dr. MLK cultural celebration. May not be referring to that in exactly the terms that they use, but they were asking for a certain amount, and I actually went ahead and committed $2,000 to that event. I understand that they want to go live again in person at the Davis Theater. And you know, that multi-culture event is always top line in terms of productions and honoring Dr. King and celebrating this community as a multicultural community. So I believe they were asking for 15 since they're going to the in-person event again. And I went ahead and committed 2, and hopefully the commission. That was Dr. Tanea Stewart. Not directly, but her representative. She did leave a message.
I spoke directly with her.
Okay.
And there's some confusion. That's why I called you. I wanted to kind of clear it up, because my understanding is that it was going to be televised. And
Well, that's,
this year.
yeah, this is what I actually, you know, returned the call to her representative.
Stewart.
Well, didn't speak directly with Dr. Stewart, her representative that was
Yeah.
speaking on her behalf, and she informed me that they wanted to go back in person in January.
I want to talk to.
Okay.
I'm committed to support it, but I want to talk to Dr. Stewart again because.
I hope they go back in person. They certainly need to.
Hopefully they will.
Or maybe they're gonna do both, but I need to get
Yeah.
clarification. Because the amount that you're requesting was different from what she told me she needed. And, what she said she was gonna do is different. So let me get that clear.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
tried to call
please do
you,
that. Yes.
to try to get together on that. And
Yeah, I
when I saw
returned-
your email, because I had spoken with her straight up, face to face.
Yes.
And, I'll get a hold of her. and-
Okay.
Yeah, the
I'm gonna
last-
support it.
Yeah, the last 2 years, we've done 3,000 out of the joint in 2020 and 2021 is what we've done. And then different commissioners have given over the years. And it looks like there was a budget change one year from 6,000 in 2019. So, is there anything
Did
else?
did she tell you when that they needed the money?
No, but it's, the event is, it's in
In
January,
January,
yes, yes.
Yeah, let me, I'm gonna support them, but I need to speak again with Dr. Stewart.
Yeah, I agree.
Get a better
Commissioner.
understanding of what's
Yeah, we definitely
going on.
need clarification, because apparently we have two different messages here.
And Mr. Chairman, we also need to add a Valiant Books request to our list for discussion.
Value books?
Valiant Books,
Value Cross, okay.
so,
Yeah, Mr. Chairman.
I got a request from there. I'm gonna do $5,000 from my agency for Valiant Books.
yeah, since we are at the end of our joint money, if we want to do anything now, I'm doing 15 from my designated, which has already been done, Florence. I'm not asking you to write that down. But yeah.
Florence, let's do 3 from my agency money,
For-
3,000, Valiant.
Anybody else?
Well, I told the Bronx in January, I'll be glad to help them come January.
Okay,
Yeah, I've already committed 5,000.
okay, awesome.
And are we still on agency, Lauren?
Yes.
Okay, 3,500 to Friendship Mission, please.
Another one that we've helped in the past, I know Chairman Dean and I have helped in the past, is that the community centers here partner together from all the community. Normally, it's been out of McIntyre. I think this year it's going to be at Gateway, but they provide a Thanksgiving lunch for the seniors that participate with our community centers all across the county. Their ask is $3,000. And Chairman Dean and I split that in the past years, $1,500. But I'm open to helping again, but looking for some other help if anybody's interested in being a part of that.
Well, you got my support. I'll split that with you. I'll do 1,500.
Does anybody else want to split the 3,000?
Was it 3? I don't know why I thought it was 4,000 they needed.
It's 3.
Okay.
All right, that's 1,500 from,
Do it from my, let's do that one from my designated.
and that is to,
It goes to the city of Montgomery, I believe. Is that right, Mr. Crawford? City of Montgomery? Yes. Yeah. McIntyre Community Center, City of Montgomery. Even though Mr. Crawford's retired from the city now, he's still participating in this event and helping them and coordinating it, so.
And it's a wonderful event. If any of you have never attended, you need to attend. It's a wonderful event. I've attended for the last 2 years, and the things that they do and brighten the senior citizens, it brightens their day just to come there. So it's a wonderful cause.
Florence, I'll do 1,500 and the other 1,500 to make that 3,000 from the commission. I just have the one account I can pull it from. Does anybody else have anything else they can recall that we need to discuss as a team? Okay, Florence?
Are there any additions to miscellaneous appropriations to education?
Plus, I want to do 3,500 for Jeff Davis High, out of the education, of course, for baseball.
Same here, Florence. I want to do the same amount for Jeff Davis baseball,
3,500?
out of education. I also want to do 500 to Pentalala Elementary for the science department.
Anything else?
Plus, I want to back up a little bit. We talked, I think we all got letters from the botanical, Dr. Davis and the botanical garden deal. I don't know if Teresa can pull that up right quick, but I know I've supported them in the past. Now, I think what they're asking this time is that we support them as a commission.
As a commission, yes.
And my suggestion would be that we commit whatever we commit out of the funds that we'll receive after the first of the year.
I support that project as
I'm
well,
with you.
so I agree, let's talk about that. I need to refresh my memory on their letter and what we've done the past couple of years.
I agree with you on that 100%. Yeah,
Here's her.
I see it. Did you
She
see it?
sent us on November 5th a letter, and I can tell you how much she requested. We thank you for your past contribution and asking if you can contribute $5,000 to the further development of the gardens. She's asking for $5,000.
I think that was 5,000 apiece from each commissioner.
Oh, right, and that was the same thing last year. She sent each of us a letter, and I messed that up. She wants 5,000 from
She wants
each
5,000
commissioner,
apiece.
for a total of 25.
Right.
And it's on a special project this year, I think they're working on. She also mentions that in the letter.
That was the request for last year also, 5,000
Was it?
apiece. Yeah.
What did we do last year? Teresa, can you pull that? Well, whatever we do, I just suggest we do it out of the joint.
All right, we can actually probably carry that over to the next meeting and
All right.
get more details, and we'll talk about it next meeting.
Are there any additions to designated revenue? Consider a bid award to Gulf States distributors to provide law enforcement footwear. Consider budget change request number 1 for the sheriff's office. Consider budget change request number 3 for engineering. Consider a position fill request for the detention facility for a corrections officer trainee. Consider a position fill request for the engineering department for a county road equipment operator 2. Consider a position fill request for the sheriff's office for a deputy sheriff trainee. Consider travel training requests for the county commission, the detention facility, probate, and the sheriff's office. That's all the items. First, we'll hear from Sheriff Cunningham. Except I don't.
Cunningham is, I don't believe he's here today.
I'm like a rock star.
There you are.
Sneaking up from behind.
He always here. Oh,
The sheriff has a waived rule item to consider U.S. Department of Justice Equitable Sharing Agreement and certification.
oh, okay. Yeah. Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Well, y'all looking all joyful? Good. Yes, that, you all probably seen that before. We do that every year. So I'm just asking you all to go ahead and approve it because of the timeline.
Is there any objection to waiving rules?
No objection.
All right,
Item number 6 is consider the sale of 3 Montgomery County Sheriff's Office vehicles to the Barbour County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, they're requesting some vehicles, and, you know, you all have to approve that. So the letter they sent me, I sent to you all.
Any questions on that?
How old are those vehicles, Sheriff, that they want?
2017, 2015?
Yeah, they got them on that list.
Yeah, it's 3 of them, 2 2015s and a 2017.
Barbour County, I thought Barbour County had money. No,
They don't have any money.
Barbour County's Eufaula.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a
Yeah,
small
small
county.
town, and he's making about his skin, his britches. He's doing the best he can for that area down there.
bless his heart.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of things going against him, so he's fighting a lot of things.
Let him have the card, Sheriff.
All right,
Next agenda.
okay,
I believe that's all.
okay. Well, before I leave, y'all, let's give our election manager a round of applause. We had a great election this past time, no problems. Alexander, thank you for what you do. Thank you.
Congratulations, Sheriff, on that win.
Thank you, thank you.
That's it.
Well, and thank you, Sheriff, for the breakfast. The commission and the sheriff's office had a breakfast for county employees to honor our veterans, and that was, thank you for doing that.
And Doug, I appreciate you getting in the way. You did good.
The only problem we had was grits, and that was your department. So don't say that.
Grants Administrator Regina Walker has several items to present, couple of waive rule items.
Good morning. Let me look sideways, hold on. What's my first one? Adeka? Oh, it's the 2023 JAG equipment grant. The sheriff's office is going to use that to outfit their patrol cars with AEDs, because that's just becoming pretty much standard equipment for law enforcement now. There's no match. Did I forget to say that?
Is there any objection to waiving rules?
No.
No objection.
Okay.
Oh, the Panera Bread Foundation grant. That is a grant that we're looking at possibly writing for the Sheriff's Office Cadet Program. It provides funds for underserved youth or agency 501c3s that are providing services to youth. And that's, I say cadet, I'm sorry, I meant Explorer Post. And they would be a perfect fit for it. So just need your permission, and there's no match.
That's not waive rule.
Sir?
Is that a waive rule?
No,
No.
No.
So that,
no, sir.
Yes.
Well, they all listed.
It is waive rules
Why would it be a waive rule?
because of the deadline date.
Why don't you explain how some of these, we've learned a lot since Regina's been in our office, how these things are announced and the short turnaround for making applications.
We have grants that, like the equipment grant that was released, it had a 15-day turnaround, and you guys just didn't meet within that time, so it had to be a waive rules if we were going to apply. And unfortunately, with so much money coming down from various sources, some of them will give you 4 to 6 weeks, some of them will give you 10 to 15 days. So if we're going to apply and there's no match, I'd rather come up here and ask your permission to write it than to miss an opportunity.
any objection to waive rules?
No.
No objection.
The last one should be the SCAP grant.
All right, item number 7.
That's the SCAP grant that comes down from DOJ every year. There's no match. We use that to offset medical costs in the detention facility.
For the undocumented.
Any other questions? That'll be next agenda.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Regina.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you're doing.
Thank you.
We've got 2 other waive rule items to consider before we hear from our other visitors. Number 4 is a bid award to Chappy's Deli to cater the annual employee luncheon, with the luncheon having to be earlier because of the availability of the fellowship hall. We need to go ahead and get that approved at this meeting.
Florence, I got a question about that one. I've always had a question about that one. Do we have a list of who bidded for this? Because, you know, I've always, when I ran the small minority business for you guys, I've always got, this is number one complaint, that no minority-owned company could ever get into this bid. So, do we have a list of who bid on this one?
If you would open the attachment, please, it's a tabulation list.
Okay.
I believe, if I remember correctly, yes, only one person bid on it.
And historically, this is what always happens.
Right,
People
the-
don't, it's not that sometimes Chappy's was low, correct? But typically, they were it.
Yeah, well, they always can be, and the thing about it is they always are gonna probably be any small minority business owner, because small minority business owners can't get the availability of the prices that they get. So, you know, because they buy in bulk and quality. So that was my concern about this, because that has always been a number one question, that no one can seem to get their foot in the door with this bid right here.
And the experience in serving that many employees
Right.
makes it difficult to be eligible as well. But we would welcome your help in trying to,
Well, yeah, we'll look back at this bid and try to see, can we work this a better way then, so that we can get more opportunities to the small minority business owner out in the community. Okay.
Funny you should bring that up. We were a few weeks ago considering hiring someone to manage our minority business initiative, and it was delayed because of somebody needed to have a conversation with the mayor. I understand that conversation has taken place, and my question is, when do we move forward in hiring this person? Because we were in retaining this person, because we were real close to doing that at that time, and I think the only delay was the mayor wanted to talk to him. And I think that conversation has happened, so I think it's time for us to move on that, so we won't have to have these type of conversations right here. We have somebody working on that, that we can discuss these matters with and get those matters addressed. We have a great candidate, one that I thought that we all had agreement on until the vote was delayed on it. So I'm hoping that we could line that up to go on the next agenda to do a vote to hire this person to come in and help us out, help us to be able to help minority businesses to put themselves in a position to compete better for some of the contracts, that the county lets.
I'm fine to put it on the next agenda, but just to be clear, I don't recall consensus on any one particular group or individual. So you said we had all agreed on it, maybe conceptually, but not specifically. In the last conversation we had, and I'll have to look back at the numbers, you know, the proposals were for in excess of $100,000 a year to run this program, and that was my primary concern, for the county to shoulder that cost all on our own versus sharing it with any other entity is too much, in my opinion.
You know, I think it's worth it, and there might not have been a complete consensus, but the mayor only talked to one party.
He talked to me.
There was only one that we were considering, whether there was consensus or not. We were considering this one as the most qualified, and that was the only one that the mayor spoke with, and that was the only one that we were going to vote on. So that's why I made that statement. But be that as it may, I think that it's time for us to move forward with that and get somebody in place. I think the bid was $120,000 for something as important as this, as much money as we spend on other things. This is as important, if not more important, and I don't believe that that amount is excessive. 8 to 6, I think it was 6 to 8 years ago when we came out with this, one of the plans, one of the bids on it was $80,000 back then. So to do that same kind of work this year at 100, and I think it was 120,000, I forget what it is, but would be in line if you count in inflation or wherever you want to count in. So I really don't think, especially with the proposal, the things that that this person is, or this organization is prepared to do for the county, and the position they're prepared to put us in, I don't think it's spending too much money.
Okay. Is there any objection to the Chappy's Deli waiving rules for the Chappy Deli for the annual employee luncheon?
No objection.
You all right?
What with Chappie's?
Waiving rule?
I'm okay.
Everybody okay?
I have no objection.
Okay, thank you.
But do we get to put that on the next agenda?
I'm gonna meet, actually, I'm meeting with the mayor on Friday, and I put it on my list here to talk to him to see what the city direction they're gonna go in, and I'll report back to you.
It's just one delay after the other, Doug, but we'll see what happens, but we just been kicking this can down the road now for years, trying to get this done. Okay.
Another waive rule item is to consider hiring a manager of public affairs at A9, Step 3. The memo talks about his qualifications and experience that far exceeds the minimum qualifications. If he is ready to come on board effective November 28th, 2022.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I don't have an objection to waiving
Well,
rules.
this step increase, is that a condition of this applicant accepting this position?
He asked that it be considered, and after talking to commissioners, I agreed that we would come forward and make this request.
And so this particular individual has been on the register, I suppose, along with the other people who expressed an interest in this position?
Correct.
Okay. And this was we didn't have a new registry?
No,
This is the
sir.
old registry?
No, sir. We asked several candidates that we had interviewed previously if they were still interested in the position. One had taken another job, and we felt like that this candidate was the best suited for the position.
And just can I ask one more question? This particular candidate, what rank did they have on the registry?
I'll be honest, I do not remember.
But they were top.
They were, you get 5 names.
On the original.
Personnel will send the top 5 names. We interviewed, offered the position to one person. Now we have interviewed again and made this offer.
I think they were 2 or 3 because number 1 was a tie. There were 2 number 1s.
But everyone who rated in the top 5 has been given an opportunity to at least have an interview with you?
We interviewed several candidates the first time. This young man was up there the first time. We went with the previous public affairs director, and so when we came back the second time, we evaluated the candidates. Spoke with the team and said, okay, how do we want to handle this again? His experience in the area, his experience at being from Montgomery, gave him a leg up before we talked to him about having a flair for this area, knowing what this area looks like, having a familiarity with the commission. When we spoke with him, he brought up several ideas. We did emphasize the things that we needed, what you all wanted as a commission. And he really gave us a great impression that he was ready and had a flair to go. And I think with him being willing to come in so very quickly and jump in, shows that he's raring to go. And I think this is what the commission needs. And so I think he is the best candidate.
Okay, thank you.
Any objection to waiving rules?
No objection from me.
No objection.
Okay,
No objection to me either.
thank you.
Our next visitor is Commander Frederick Williams with AmeriCare Financial Group, the Peers Program.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning. Can we hear it? Hello? Good morning. We're here asking for support and to present our executive summary.
Fred, pull the mic up a little higher. 'Cause you're tall.
Is that better? Okay. We're here asking for support and to present our executive summary for the Alabama Veterans Resource Center. We have come together, a lot of our veterans are here. If our veterans will stand, that are here in support of this. These are veterans from various organizations throughout the city of Montgomery. There are also veterans that are from various posts. We have letters of support from our Ms. Terry Sewell, as well as from our Veterans Affairs officers, Mr. Kent Moore, and what have you. And we just wanted to present this. I want to introduce some of the service that we'll be providing for the Veteran Resource Center. The Veteran Resource Center is going to be a one-stop shop. Right now, we have a number of veteran services in the community, but none of them working together. And the veterans that we are giving assistance to, the PEERS program, has been just a ground-level housing program. We're the only housing program for veterans under the umbrella of the American Legion. We're the only American Legion post in the state of Alabama. We have full support of the American Legion back in this program as well. The Veteran Resource Center is going to be a self-sustainable resource center that is backed by the city of Montgomery, which is the capital, of course, of the state of Alabama, but it will be the Alabama Veteran Resource Center because we're already helping veterans from throughout the state. A lot of the veterans that are residents in the PEERS program right now are from various states, counties throughout the state. They're not just from Montgomery. But we want to bring a one-stop shop to the city of Montgomery, the capital city, that will house as well as give all support services from spiritual services to treatment service, mental treatment services, job awareness, life skills, the full 9 yards. I want to introduce some of our supporters with this, starting with Pastor Jordan here. He is going to be bringing in the spiritual aspect of the program to our city.
Thank you, Commander. Ladies and gentlemen of the commission, and ladies and gentlemen in the audience, good morning. I'm happy to stand here in support of this organization and hopefully be able to be a consultant in spiritual matters as it relates to the veterans in our community. I had the personal experience of serving in the 908th Airlift Group here in Maxwell for over 17 years. And as a pastor of Lily Missionary Baptist Church here in Montgomery over 53 years. And so we feel that some of our spiritual resources will be advantageous for the men and women of our community who have served our country and our community. And we ask that you would highly consider receiving the recommendation coming from Commander Williams. And we will be available for those who are in need as it relates to veteran affairs. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Commission, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mark Young. I work for the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. I work on the East Campus in Tuskegee, Alabama. I work in mental health, and this is something I see every day, not just the veterans on the street, but the ones that come through my unit. I work on a HIPU, high-intensity psychiatric unit. A lot of times when the veterans leave my floor, they go up to the 3rd floor for treatment, but then they don't necessarily get placement by the social worker. So this program would be something to help give them a place of living, education as far as the trade that they would learn, and help keep them off the street so it's not a revolving door. I see them quite often. They come, they go, they get treatment, they come right back. Because once they get home, they're just sitting. Commissioner Sankey, you know very well, I see you up there from time to time. So that's all I have. I hope y'all consider it.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, by the way, for setting the weather as it is. It makes me feel right at home because this is like 80% in the UK weather. So thank you for that. It was very kind of you. We moved here as a family in May from the UK because my husband's in the military and he's serving out of Maxwell Air Force Base. So unfortunately, he can't be here this morning because he has his duty to do. This is some projects very close to my heart. My husband has been in the Royal Air Force now for over 20 years, and when he returned from Afghan, we became aware that something was wrong, and he was diagnosed with PTSD. Without projects like this, I wouldn't be standing here. We wouldn't still be a family. I can't tell you how important projects like this are. And this is unique and special in that it's a one-stop shop. You know, that veterans can go, there's hope, there's support, they can become involved, they can become a part of society again, and they won't be lost as often they were. I'm also a high school teacher, and I'm very excited to get involved and, you know, offer my support as a teacher with any educational support I can get involved with, and obviously my husband is very much in support of this project as well. Okay, nice to meet you.
Good morning. For the ones that do or do not know, my name is Brother James Lovejoy. I'm sure you all know me there, Commissioner. I inundate their emails quite a bit. Help me, Lord. I just want to share with you that this project here and this recommendation, I just want to emphasize the importance of it all because I've been working on this since 2014, and one word that just comes out is the collaboration. And for Commander Fred Williams to, and I prayed on it, to get it. Not only am I the military affairs for chairman for our great illustrious Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated to have this platform, I'm also the chair for the NAACP for the state of Alabama. And for this to be here in Montgomery, to have such a program that is introduced to you here would be a great model. A lot of us like to take the elevator without taking the steps. This has been a stepping stone for many years, and I pray that that we look at not only our fellow veterans here, but, and my wife reminded me, and I got a class by a young lady up there, do not forget our female veterans as well, because we rank the highest in the state of Alabama for homeless female veterans. So not to forget our homeless. When you say homelessness, and I'm not going to be long, when you say homelessness, but our homeless veterans is different in the aspect of we have an inside camaraderie on many branches. And when you put us in a community environment, we're going to take care of each other. We're going to take care of each other because I was brainwashed that there's only one branch, Army.
All right.
But our other branches is we're going to josh with you because you have trash on the ground. Oh, that's how the Air Force do it, or is that how the Marines do it? I say that facetiously because this community is well needed. Maxwell Air Force Base ranks as one of the few bases that has a retired senior community retirement homes. And that's another subject, but that's why so many move out to Prattville and Pike Road, and this has been noted. So this one-stop program that we're proposing to you, it's a heck of a presentation, yes. But I'm telling you, as a fellow veteran of a retired first sergeant, 20 years, 10 months, and 18 days, who's counting? I just want you to know that this is well needed. And I'll say this, you know I work with our youth. You to grant this type of money is just like making sure that it's is well taken care of? Are we good stewards? Are we good gatekeepers? I had to cut ties with some people that wanted to collaborate with us in the city of Montgomery because there was an outside entity that wanted to come in and pad their pocket. So I want to say that we're going to be good gatekeepers of this and good stewards of your money. I yield my time. Thank you.
Thank you. Fred, thank you. And I want to especially say thank you to all the veterans here for your service. We really appreciate each and every one of you. I think you have a very worthwhile project. It's a very big project.
Yes, it is.
I know the commission would be, I'm sure the rest of the commission will be willing to do everything we possibly can, but this is a $3.5 million ask, so it's going to have to ask a lot of people.
Yes.
Not one entity can handle this.
Understood.
But again, everybody from state, VA, local municipalities working together, hopefully we can do something to help you.
Yes, sir. And I just wanted to close by saying, understanding the path we have been, it's been a journey with me and most of these guys that are with us. And we're not proposing something that is going to be a drop-off for veterans. Our program is slated from homelessness to homeowners, okay? Which means that even Brother Lovejoy bringing in the transition to Cocoon Homes of bringing in those aspects. We know that this is something that's going to take a few years to fully develop. But we have the agencies, we have the support, and as I speak with various members of the city leadership and the county leadership, we do understand that we need to vet a lot of the agencies out there that are saying that they're supporting veterans, but just actually riding on the fact that veterans get support. And we want to actually bring all of those under one roof, okay? That's what the full concept of the Veteran Resource Center is. It will be a center where everything that's needed can be addressed there rather than having a veteran run cross town to this agency, go over to this agency, go see the VA and go do this. We will handle everything for you right here, okay? So this is what we're trying to propose. We know that it's not something that's gonna be an overnight process to develop. And we also understand that it's going to have to be a complete process that takes them from homelessness to homeowners. We want to create more taxpaying citizens and what have you. So I just wanted to let you know that.
Yeah, and I want to give my other commissioners, if they have any questions.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
I'm also a veteran, 4 years active United States Air Force and 7 years in the 908th. Reverend Jordan, I think you were the chaplain out there for a great period of that time when I was out there. This is an excellent idea. This type of idea has been executed in other areas years ago when the city and the county got together with some state help and formed the One Place Family Justice Center. It was a brainchild of our then DA, Ellen Brooks, and it works. One stop. You come there and you get everything that you need. Yes, yes, and I'm surprised that there's not some model somewhere else in the country for this type of activity. But as the chairman has said, this is the type of project that's going to take us all. It's going to take the city, it's going to take the county, it's going to take the state, and it's going to take the feds, the VA. There's absolutely no reason why this can't be acceptable, because this model, like I said, has been taken forth in other areas, and I think it'll work. And I think Montgomery is the place for it. So, you know, I've gotten a number of phone calls. I probably won't call you all back. So I hope you're listening and looking.
Please don't call me.
I am in support of this project and doing all that I can to try to help to find the money to get this done. You know, so, you know, if I don't call you back, that's my position on it. Thanks.
I would like to say something as well. I am a veteran of the U.S. Army. I served in an enlisted ranks and also as a commissioned officer. And I just want to thank you all for this idea, bringing forth this idea. When you first presented it, Fred, I got excited.
Yes, you did.
One-stop Veteran Resource Center. service is so fragmented when it comes to serving veterans. You can go out to the VA hospital, those people working out there in the social service, they will admit that the services that veterans receive are fragmented. You can sit in the waiting room out there and learn more about services that are available to veterans than you can if you go see the social workers. So I find it very resourceful just to sit in the waiting room out there at the VA and talk to fellow veterans, because you learn so much from that. And so I'm in full support of it. I like the array of services that will be provided. I don't see why we can't do it. I know it's going to take a collaborative effort. Yes, I think this might be a good project for the American Rescue Plan Act funding.
Yes, sir.
And I would encourage you to get that to our consultants. Please get that to our consultants. And you all bring, when you come with these kind of numbers and the experience and representing various branches of the military, that is very, very impressive. And so I'm on record to support it. We just need to get it done. We really need to get it done. We don't need to be talking about it 10 years from now. And so I'm just excited to see you all. Some of y'all standing at attention. Y'all must still be in the military. But in any event, we just so appreciative. My good friend, Mr. Williams from Flatwood, he's wearing his Vietnam veteran hat. I know he didn't come with you all, but I see him excited and smiling about, the possibilities for veterans. So thank you all so much. And let's just continue this effort. And one thing I want to say about the 908th. Now, I was in the 908th as well. Now, I don't remember seeing Pastor Jordan. I don't remember. I don't remember seeing Dan. So it must have been after.
You were just a child. You were just a child.
Just a child.
You weren't old enough to be in the service.
But thank you all so much. I'm really excited. I mean, this right after we celebrated Veteran Day, and we did Operation Greenlight.
Yes, we did.
And that was certainly the county participated. I hope you all saw those pretty lights we had out here.
Yes, sir.
It meant something, not just the lights. It meant that we were concerned about veterans and that we want to bring the attention to the plight of the veterans who are still suffering from mental health, substance abuse, the lack of housing, the lack of job security. And so I'm all in, and I'm excited.
And briefly, if you don't mind, if Pastor Jordan don't mind, we're on a plight to help him get some of his benefits in state. And the thing about that is, when I speak of the services we want to provide to veterans, this is not just homelessness. People get it all mixed up. We're just working with homeless veterans. This is not true. We have Pastor Jordan here. He's been retired now since '93. Was not aware of his retirement benefits. Okay, and so now we're just in the process of getting his retirement benefits in the store. They're going to retro-pay to a certain point. But the point is that how many of these veterans are out here that are not aware and that are not getting the services they need that could be better taxpayer services to our community? And this is what we're doing it for. It's not just for homeless veterans. I want people to get that clear in their mind, that we're not just concerned about veterans that have been deprived or displaced in the community. We're concerned about veterans in totality.
And I understand, and we agree with you, and I want to say, go on record for maybe the first time, I definitely agree with County Commissioner Harris and County Commissioner Sankey on this one right here. And go on record, and we're right back to CARES Act money. Let's get them in front, and let's not be talking about this 10 years from now.
Absolutely.
Let's make an action and do right.
Thank you very
Being
much.
the daughter, I am the granddaughter of a veteran, the wife of a veteran, and the daughter-in-law of one. And so I want to ensure, and I'm 100% behind you, not for just homeless, but for every veteran, because of them, we sit here today free, and we must recognize it.
Amen. And one last thing before I go, because Commissioner Sankey did mention this as a part of the Rescue Plan Act and what have you. I have spoken with Mrs. Susan and Mrs. Reynolds on this accord, and they understand that this is the only veteran operation that came for any funding support from the Opera Fund or from the Rescue Plan Act, and they fully support it as well. So I just wanted to let that be known.
Thank
you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Next one, Florence.
Mr. Fluker with Montgomery Step Foundation.
Cedric. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Be very brief.
What's his package?
Good work of STEP Foundation, and to all of our commissioners this morning, good morning, and just heartwarming. To all of our veterans who have served, we salute you and God bless you. Our organization has been around for over 33 years now, and we've been working on the front lines of preventing violence. Violence is we know it's a cancer in our community. We don't even need stats this morning because we turn on the news and every single day just about we hear about gun violence or violence in some sort, whether it's holidays or you name it. I'm a firm believer that you can't affect change if you're not in front of those people who are most prone to be either victims or perpetrators of violence. And I think that it starts young with our children. We've been doing a violence prevention program in Montgomery Public Schools since the year 2000. And so would have hoped that by now, 22 years later, this wouldn't even be a topic, but it is. There's still a need for STEP. Our numbers, and hopefully you all received our packet, we impact 200 students at McKee Middle School. The principal requested us to come, and that's generally how we get into schools. We are requested to come. We prevented fights. We work with children who didn't come to school truant because of bullying. We've counseled children that were suicidal. We've counseled even the adults in the school. So the organization is a blessing to the totality of these school communities. And whereas you can invest in brick and mortar, investing in a child is perhaps the greatest investment of all, investing in a life. We just came out of Gibbs Village. We impacted 40 young people over this summer. One of the few organizations I think that was even on the property. What I've learned is that a lot in Montgomery, people like to fund stories. They like to look good. But I can promise you, when you fund the STEP Foundation, you're funding work. And as my brother said, one of the veterans said, he said, "There's proof is in the pudding." So I invite you to go on our website, go on our Facebook pages. You will always see work, good work being done, impactful work. We have mentoring programs. We're in 3 schools now, South Johnson, Chisholm, McKee Middle. We just picked up the alternative school. We've been in the alternative school every year for the past 15 years or so. But because they had a new administration, it was a little slow getting in, but we're in there. So we'll be back in front of those children. Had one of those young men stop me about 2 or 3 months ago. He was at the alternative school, and he stopped us in the parking lot, and he says, "Mr. Fluker, I remember every single thing that was said in the program that you all tried to instill within us." And he said, "I got out of trouble," and he said, "I got me a job here at the store." He was pushing shopping carts at the grocery store, had gotten a job. And so I was so glad to hear that. We don't get a chance to hear all of the stories of our work, but I can certainly tell you that there are many testimonies. I'm not one who give orders to my staff. I'm out there in the field with them. I'm in front of young men every single week. Now, I will stop because I do want you to have questions. Yes.
I do want to give time for questions.
Sure.
From the commissioners.
Yes.
I know we have supported you. I think we all agree you do a great job. There's never been any doubt about that. Obviously, by the way, we've supported since 2018 every year in some capacity, either a joint or individual commissioners.
That's correct.
Is there any questions?
No, just a comment, not to be redundant, but we know about your work. You've done good work. I've had the privilege of working with you on a number of your initiatives. And, Mr. Chairman, I would recommend that we certainly consider STEP Foundation if and when the joint revenue gets to us. $10,000 doesn't seem like a whole lot to give, and so I would.
That'll be towards the end of January before we have that. Is that?
Yes.
Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
What's your number?
My number is 25.5.
25.5.
Yes, which it will be half of $51,000. we're asking the commission to do a match, cash match for us.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to suggest that we seriously consider the 25.5 out of the donated funds that we were anticipating in January. Only thing I can say about this, my little small Lutheran congregation over on Rosa Parks and Mill Street has been supporting this organization for years. And the only thing I can say about this, just not enough people doing this type of violence prevention in Montgomery. I think if we had more of it, we'd have less youth violence, you know. He had a package, I don't know, we don't have it before us, but he had a package that had the numbers and had some of the projects and all that set out in terms of the types of things that they're doing as a small organization. They're small, but they're effective, or isn't that commercial? Small, but mighty.
That's right, that's right, that's right.
So Cedric, we really appreciate what you're doing, and it is my hope that we latch on to Commissioner Sankey's suggestion, and I'm suggesting the amount. I'm suggesting we go to 25.5 out of the designated coming toward the end of the year.
Okay.
I appreciate that. Let me just say real quickly too, that the state superintendent, as well as Dr. Chestnut delegation from the State Department, was touring one of the schools that we have a program in, and they just happened upon our program as we were, you know, working that particular day with the students. And as they came in and interacted and saw what the kids were, you know, being taught, a statement was made by Dr. Chestnut that this program should be in every school in the state of Alabama. So I just want to say that.
Thank you,
and
sir.
thank you all again for your consideration.
Appreciate it.
Bless you.
Florence, we got 2 or 3 more items real quickly.
Correct. Item number 8 is to consider board member reappointments to Community Corrections Board. I spoke with Phil Bryant, and Mr. Harris wants to be reappointed, but Ms. Millender does not want to be. So we need to have we have one vacancy to fill, assuming you want to reappoint Mr. Harris.
When does that expire?
That expires. Can you open that attachment, please?
Oh, where is it? What number is it?
I think that's December.
December 1st, 2022.
So we can do that. Doug, I think that was your appointment.
Was that my appointment that's open now?
Mr. Harris. I think that was your appointment.
All right, I'll have somebody by the next meeting. Is that
No,
okay?
no.
He
He wanted to serve again.
Oh, yeah, I'm okay with him, yeah. I thought you were talking about the other guy, the other position.
Millender,
I don't know
Carolyn.
who
I don't know who did that
Who
one.
had,
I don't, it wasn't me, that I know.
but, I mean, we can
I
always
want
put
to,
somebody.
Does anybody know of anybody?
yes,
Okay.
Miss Watkins Crawford, I guess Mr. Crawford has left. I'll send you her resume. She has a very impressive resume of government services with the federal government, so I'll share that with you all.
Can we look at that and put her on the next, so we can get that position filled? Is it,
We can just distribute that.
This week, and let us look at it.
yeah. Yeah, I'm sure she'll be, if that's what you suggest, I'm good with it.
We also have openings on the Parks and Recreation Board.
Did everybody want to be reappointed on that one?
I know
That's,
my guy did. Bradley is the one I had. He wanted to be reappointed.
He wanted to be.
So
I'm
then
good
he's the
with
only
Kevin doing
one.
it.
He's the only one.
one, yeah. So that's next agenda.
then item number 10 is the Joint Public Charity Hospital Board. Both of those members would like to be reappointed.
I don't have any problem
And
with
no
that.
problem with me.
Next agenda.
Next agenda.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
is there any way we could talk about putting these various committees on our website and just give a brief outline of, what the duties and responsibility are so the citizens can be more aware of opportunities to serve?
Yeah,
That project is in the works. It's been a little more daunting than we realized, trying to come up with matching up the laws that create these boards, but it is on its way.
Thank you.
On item 11, Florence, I have a name that I need to contact for the personnel board.
Okay.
So I'll have some by next meeting.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Number 12, I guess, Florence, the last one.
Number 12 includes the legislative agenda for 2023, a progress report, and a proposed contract with the Crosby Drinkard Group for governmental affairs, representation, and consulting. This contract expires the end of December.
Mr. Chairman,
Next agenda.
yeah, can we put that on the next agenda?
Next agenda.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm good. Is that all, Florence?
Yes, sir.
We're running a little bit behind. We're going to take a 3-minute break.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
before
sir.
we do that, Commissioner Ziegler, you're down for the pledge. Would you be willing to allow the fine folks from the Flatwood community to do the Pledge of Allegiance today? I neglected to present that. And they're sitting here, they are such valuable citizens and dedicated to their community. And yeah, I'm sure that we can tell you a little bit about them at that time. Thank you.
All right, good. All right, 3 minutes. We'll be right back.